There is a type of narcissist that even professionals have a hard time spotting, called the covert narcissist. They are often even more destructive than the overt narcissist because most people don't know what to look for and don't realize just how toxic they are. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, but instead of throwing a bunch of traits at you like most other videos, I sorted their behaviors into 8 different situations, so you can compare the person in your life across different situations, helping you confidently spot a covert narcissist so you can figure out the best way to move forward and avoid being harmed by them. First, let's look at how covert narcissists get what they want. This is important because they're so good at hiding their manipulation that most people never realize it's happening. A covert narcissist's favorite way of getting things is to tell you how they are struggling in such a way that you start feeling sorry for them and feel obligated to help them out. At first, they come across as a sweet and charming person who just run into some bad luck and needs a helping hand. They don't usually ask you directly. Instead, they tell you about their problems and wait for you to offer to help them. If you don't, they act disappointed in you. This can feel incredibly uncomfortable, and most people would rather help out than feel like they let someone down. If the narcissist does ask for something directly, they will either remind you of everything they have done for you and make you feel guilty for saying no to them, or they will tell you that they will be okay if you don't want to help and that they have been through worse and will somehow cope. This can make it feel like you are choosing for them to struggle. Even if you cannot help, they make you feel ashamed for saying no. And that's exactly how the covert narcissist wants you to feel. They use guilt and shame as well as playing on your sympathy to get things from you. However, covert narcissists do not always need things from you. So another way to spot one is to look at how they deal with conflict, because this is one area they struggle to hide their narcissism. Covert narcissists take any disagreement personal and act as if you are attacking them. One moment everything is fine, and the next they storm off sulking or flying into a rage, acting as if you intentionally hurt their feelings. They don't seem interested in hearing your side of a story. Instead, the conversation quickly becomes about how you made them feel. If you point out one of their bad behaviors, they will deny it, blame you or someone else, bring up something you did to shift the focus, or attack you for daring to point out their behavior. And even if they do admit they were wrong, they rarely apologize or take responsibility for what they did. Instead, they often throw themselves a pity party or give you the silent treatment until you end up apologizing for having a problem with their behavior. Covert narcissists deal with conflict by denying they are wrong and punishing you for bringing up the issue, which explains a lot about how they deal with their emotions. And it's super important to understand because this affects almost everything they do. When you look past the fake charm, covert narcissists seem to have a quiet, simmering anger or hatred in them. It is as if they are just waiting for something to complain about or get upset over. They often misinterpret the meaning behind your words or actions and then get upset over nothing. They are rarely satisfied or happy with anything, yet it is always someone else's fault why they are upset, and they can be upset for days over the smallest thing. They then blame you for ruining their week because they got upset over something trivial you did. To a covert narcissist, if they feel something, then it must be true. If they feel you did something wrong, then to them that's proof that you did something wrong. They also often make decisions based on how they feel instead of thinking things through. Covert narcissists do not deal with their emotions. They blame other people for making them upset instead of taking responsibility for how they feel, which is a major problem because it has a big impact on how they deal with other people's success, and is often where people feel the most betrayed by covert narcissists. They are extremely jealous of other people's success and constantly compare themselves to others. They will gossip and talk badly about anyone who does better than them, even making up lies to degrade the other person in their eyes. They will often get upset with others who do better than them or who appear happier than them. If they are unhappy, everyone around them must be unhappy as well. If they can, they will try to sabotage people's happiness and success. If you share your success with them, they often minimize it, claim you were just lucky, or change the subject back to themselves. If they give you praise, it is often faint and obviously fake, or is an insult disguised as praise. They will find a way to ruin your special day and then act like they are the victim. Anything that brings your joy is often sabotaged, damaged, or go missing. Covert narcissists often secretly ruin people's happiness and success for years or decades before people finally realize what is happening. They see other people's success and happiness as a threat to their own self-worth and something they need to destroy. Some covert narcissists, however, will actively try to avoid conflict and avoid showing their narcissism. But because of their entitlement, their narcissism still comes through in how they interact with other people, which is a very reliable sign to look for. Covert narcissists will often interrupt you before you finish speaking. They rarely listen to what you say and love to turn every conversation back to themselves. Whatever problems you have, they will claim they have it worse than you. It is hard to feel sorry for yourself around a covert narcissist. This is because they constantly need validation and reassurance from other people. Even though they often appear shy and self-deprecating, they are constantly fishing for validation and compliments. They will put themselves down to look modest so that other people give them compliments and tell them how great they are. But don't let that fool you. Their words and actions often do not line up. They say they care about you, but then act in ways that hurt you. When you share your struggles or joy, their actions are seldom in line with how they claim to care about you. They love to make little digs at you and even give you backhanded compliments for no reason. A favorite of them is to make little jokes at your expense and then claim you are overreacting when you get upset. They have a habit of always finding small criticism in whatever you do or say. It's as if you are always just shy of being perfect and making them proud. And what's really confusing is that they don't treat everyone this way. Covert narcissists will often treat strangers and animals better than they treat their own family. In public, they are sweet and loving, but at home they can be cold and heartless. They love to take little stabs at your confidence, always questioning your decisions, your beliefs, and your abilities. Slowly, they drain your self-esteem and confidence in yourself. You come away from the interaction feeling worse about yourself. You may feel ashamed of yourself or your success. You may start second-guessing yourself. The biggest red flag is that you want their approval and want to talk to them again, yet at the same time, you also dread talking to them, even if you can't put your finger on why. Another way to spot a covert narcissist is to look at how they deal with their failures, because this is often incredibly frustrating for the people around them. When a covert narcissist makes a mistake, they find someone to blame. Even if they hurt you, they will find a way to justify their actions or to blame you. If they do admit to being wrong, They frame it to make them look helpless and the victim. They may have snapped at you over nothing, then say, "I know I overreacted, but I'm just a sensitive person." They also refuse to accept cause and effect. Everything always happens to them and is never because of their own actions. This makes them act like everyone is always against them, misunderstands them, or treats them unfairly. Covert narcissists do not accept responsibility or admit they were wrong. They have a victim mentality where they believe nothing is ever their fault. They see no reason to change or apologize for what they did. This refusal to admit they were wrong has a massive impact on how they deal with people who help them, which causes a lot of people to regret helping the covert narcissist. Many covert narcissists get upset when you help them. They act like you only help them to show how much better you are than them. Many will protect their image of being perfect by denying you ever helped them, downplay what you did for them, or repay you so they owe you nothing. However, even in repaying, they will downplay what you did by giving you a small gift and calling you too even. Most will never show any appreciation for the help they received. Rather, they act like they did you a favor by allowing you to help them, or that it is your duty to help them, so they don't need to thank you. And many will even criticize you for not doing more for them, or somehow find fault with the help you gave, so that they do not need to thank you. This ungratefulness even extends to their suggestions and solutions you offer them. They will always have several excuses why your ideas will never work for them. Covert narcissists cannot accept being in someone else's debt. They see help as proof that they are not perfect, so they deny it or downplay it. This way of seeing help has a direct impact on how they act when you need help from them. And this is one of the clearest signs of a covert narcissist. They love to promise you how much they can do for you and how much you can depend on them. But the moment you ask them for even a tiny favor, they act as if it is a massive inconvenience to them and as if you ask them to sacrifice their life for you, making you feel guilty and ashamed for asking them for the exact thing they promised they will help with. Many will come up with excuse after excuse why they cannot help you out, or make it clear that you now owe them. They will often tell the world how they saved you from total ruin, even if they only needed to pick you up once from work. And then they will constantly remind you of that one favor they did for you, to make you feel like you owe them and have to do whatever they ask of you. No matter what they promised you, covert narcissists only help you when it benefits them. If they cannot boost their image or get something from you later, forget about them helping you. We covered how to spot a covert narcissist, but most people are not ready for how a narcissist will react when they realize you are onto them. Watch this video so you know what to expect when a narcissist knows you are onto them.